Okay. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome you to Estes Field on the campus of Central Methodist University for today's baseball game. It's a 9 inning game featuring Central Methodist and Waldorf. Central Methodist, they are 20-4 on the year. Waldorf 10-9. This is game 3 of that 3-game series. Of course, these two played yesterday, 2 games as well. In the first game, Central Methodist won the first one 4-3. Victory there as well. And Central Methodist won the second game 7-0 on a combined two-hitter by a four-hitter by Clayton Burke and um, and Alexander Billow. Of course, Central Methodist head coach is Nate Breland and assistant coach Jordan Schwellenbach, Clayton Houchin, and Trey Rasenflas. For Waldorf, their head coach is Joe Totchins, Casey Cloughan, and Landon Churchman are the assistant coaches there as well. If you look at the stats there, hitting-wise, Waldorf's leading hitter is Zach Meyer, 370 hitter, homer and 4 RBIs. For Central Methodist, Carlos Negron, 493. He also leads the team in home runs with 12, 40 RBIs. Pitching for Waldorf, it is their pitcher, Ryla Cato, 3.50 ERA, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Justin Steedry leads the way in pitching, 0-0, 1.50 ERA, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts as well. Of course, some other sportsmen, of course, track and field is going on over at Davis Field and Harrison Track. They're having their invitational open there as well. Then their second one will come in 2 weeks on Easter weekend as well. Of course, the Central Methodist softball. Of course, we have a game at 2 p.m. An NHL game. The New York Rangers take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. That should be a fun one there down at PPG Points Arena. Pre-game show just getting started at about 1:30 with host Steve Levy, PK Subban, and Mark Messier, your host there. Then, of course, next Saturday, of course, baseball will be at home. Taking out Mount Mercy in a 4-game series. Games 1 and 2 will begin next Saturday at 1 o'clock. Pre-game show at 12:45 p.m. And then, of course, Game 3 and 4 will be on the 24th, which is Palm Sunday. Pre-game show 12:45, 1 o'clock. First pitch there as well. Of course, softball. They split a doubleheader this past Wednesday with Cotty. They lost the first one 8-5, but then came back to win 10-2. They'll be home next Saturday, taking on Clark, and their conference opener doubleheader begins at 1 p.m. And then next Sunday, they'll be taking on Mount Mercy in a conference opener. That's also at 1 o'clock there as well at the Cox Softball Complex. Softball team, they're ranked number 4 in the nation. They're now 18-3 on the year. What an amazing start for head coach Pat Reardon. A great sophomore class and everything else there as well. So, and also next Saturday night, an NHL game on ABC Sports begins at 7 o'clock there with the Florida Panthers taking on the New York Rangers down at Madison Square Garden. That should be a lot of fun there. Pre-game show at 6:30 p.m. with host Steve Levy, PK Subban, and Mark Messier, your host there as well. We're going to go ahead and give you today's starting lineups there. It is sponsored by Casey's. Leading off and playing in second base, Riley Rauch. Batting second is their catcher, Colby Aramel. Batting third and playing left field is Tyler Watuka. Batting fourth, their designated hitter is Ryan Webster. Batting fifth is their right fielder is Atticus Smith. Batting sixth is their third baseman. That is Anthony Hibble. Batting seventh, their first baseman, Peter Ordero. Batting in the 8th spot, their shortstop, That's one George. Batting eighth, there's center fielder Ian Carr. And today's starting pitcher is Gunnar Huffman. So we got Rouch, Armo, Watuka, Webster Smith, Hibbo, Ordano, George, Carr, with Huffman pitching. For your Central Methodist Eagles, they're, of course, 20-4 on the year. Leading off lane center field is Bobby Nichols. Batting in the number 7 spot. Second spot is second baseman Valentin Cerna Jr. Batting third baseman Tanner Sears. Batting fourth, the team's leading hitter, home run and RBI, Carlos Negron in right field. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Jeremy Conforte. Batting sixth is their left fielder, Zeb Weedy. Batting seventh, first baseman Joseph Weatherford. Batting eighth, their catcher, Dominic Van Dorn. And batting eighth, and batting in the number 9 spot is Peyton Becker. And today's starting pitcher is Foster Seitz. So you got Nico Cerna Jr. Sears, Negron, Conforte, Weedy, Weatherford, Van Dorn, Becker, and Foster Seitz pitching there as well. Of course, today's umpires, it is sponsored by Joe Mockins Ford. Behind the plate, it is, of course, is Al McCoy. Down in the outfield there is Joe Brinkman. So we got a great day here. Some Dodger blue skies. Temperature about 55 degrees there as well. You see the umpiring crew make out to the field there. And of course, 3 more days. We got the first day of spring coming in there. Boy, it's going to be exciting there. You might say spring kind of got started a little early. Probably around late February, you might say. But we're starting off there as well. Should be a lot of fun there. And also, this coming Wednesday, we got some Major League Baseball. Their opener down in Seoul, South Korea, gang, at 5 a.m. I'm sure, hopefully, some of the students, especially at Woodward, Burford, McMurray, Holt, and Howard Payne, will probably be getting up at 5 a.m. to watch a game between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. And then game 2 of that series will begin on Thursday morning at 5 a.m. there as well. So we're about ready to get started. It looks like the umpires are out in the field. Meeting with looks like the coaches should be ready to get going there. That's, of course, Nate Brinkman. And for Waldorf, that's Joe Takis. Central Methodist 20-4, and Waldorf 10-9. Should be a lot of fun there. So we're about ready to get started. It looks like that's one of the grad assistant coaches out there with the umpires. Looks like Nate Breland is out behind, right around the right-handed batter's box there. So we're trying to get things situated there. Now the umpires are all set. Well, it just feels like it's a Saturday afternoon. Of course, about this time, back when NBC used to do the game, there used to be a program called This Week in Baseball with host Mel Allen. He used to host that program at 12 noon, and, of course, it was the pregame show. 12:15 was the first pitch. And, of course, that was back when they had Vin Scully doing the play-by-play along with Joe Garagiola. There you see the coaches meeting at the home plate area. They're exchanging the lineup cards, going over a few things there with the umpires of Joe Brinkman out in the field and Al McCoy there as well. So, the umpires talk it over with Waldorf coach Joe Takis and Nate Breland for Central Methodist. Of course, Central Methodist baseball already 7-1 in the conference. Of course, they swept Graceland there, and then last Sunday they lost. They took 3 out of 4 from William Penn. They lost the first game 8-1, then won game 2 13-1. Then last Sunday won the first game 5-4, and then 17-3 there as well. Looks like more of the fans starting to file in. I think some of the students should be heading on back. I know they were on spring break this week. So, but I think we'll be getting ready to get started. I think Tim Crowley's our PA announcer. He'll announce the starting lineups, our national anthem, and, of course, the prayer as well. Of course, the NAIA men's and women's basketball begin round of 32 today. Some of the feature matchups out of the Heart America Conference, only one team out there. That's, of course, is Baker, the number 10 seed. They beat Sagu. They'll be taking on the 15th seed Evangel tonight at 7 o'clock down in Waxahachie, Texas. Of course, prayer national anthem, Quentin Norris on the Catbird Sea. We're about ready to get started. And as the great Vin Scully used to say on NBC television, let's pull up a chair then and get ready for some Central Methodist baseball. We'll go ahead and set the defense for you. Sponsored by Emmett's Kitchen Tap. Out in left field, Zeb Weedy. Out in center field, Bobby Nichols. In right field, Carlos Negron. Out at third base, Tanner Sears. Shortstop, Peyton Becker. Second baseman, it is Valentin Cerna Jr. The first baseman, Joseph Oedifer. And their catcher, Nick Van Dorn. And there is today's starting pitcher, Foster Seitz. 4-1, 4.09 ERA, 7 walks, 26 strikeouts. He is from St. Louis, went to Wentzville High School there. Of course, I had a great visit with his mom, Julie. His dad is Greg. He has a sister who is in the 10th grade down in Wentzville named Lila. And I'm sure his dog is watching the broadcast. Either Dad, if he's not watching base, he's probably watching the Yogi Bear cartoon where they have Yogi Bear and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Or either that, he's probably hanging out with his buddy Shaggy. So we're about ready to get started, or maybe, most importantly, or the dog may be doing is keeping Tom the cat in line, making sure Tom the cat behaves himself. Tom the cat. Foster Seitz gets some warm-up tosses there. Waldorf in the purple uniforms with the black trim, black numerals. Central Methodist, they're sporting the green. Of course, you know tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. They want to get everyone in the spirit of wearing some green on St. Patrick's Day. And why not? With the white trim, white numerals. We're ready to get started. Riley Rouch, 352 hitter, 1 homer, 9 RBIs from, looks like Pierre's, Minnesota, around the Minneapolis area, the most famous TV show that ever took place, the Mary Tyler Moore Show. First pitch. That's a ball there. That came right at 12 noon, 55 degrees. Time and temperature sponsored by the parking spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The parking spot at Kansas City International Airport. 1-0 pitch to him. There's a strike on the inside corner called by the on-play umpire, Al McCoy. Actually, it's Larry McCoy. 1-1 now. That's ball 2. And out in the field, there's Joe Brinkman. 2-1 the count there. 2 balls and 1 strike on Riley Rouch. 2-1 pitch. Misses that one. 3-1 now. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. That's a leadoff walk there. Now brings up Colby Armo. 258 hitter, 1 homer, 20 RBIs from Grass Valley, California, around the San Francisco area. Of course, we used to have a volleyball player from Central Methodist from about 10 years ago. Came from that area. Her name was Sabrina Beach. And I remember meeting her mother, Janet, at a Central Methodist game. And I'm sure she is doing well. I want to say hi to her. There's a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 now. I think I think in all the times I've known her, I think she came to a few of the games involving Central Methodist about 10 times during Sabrina's 4-year career. 0-1 to count. They throw over there. And back goes Riley Rouch. The 0-1 pitch. That's missed. 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike. On Colby Aramel. He tries to square the bunt. They throw over there. And back goes Riley Rouch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kobe Emerald. Squares the bunt. Lays down a bunt. His only play is the first. Nice scoop there by Joseph Weatherford. So sack bunt, and now there's 1 out now for Tyler Watuka. Watuka, 339 hitter, a homer, 11 RBIs on the year from Nuka, Colorado. Runner at second, first pitch. There's a strike there, 0-1 the count there. Oh, and 1 to count there. The 0-1 fouls it off. 0-2. 0-2 to count there on Tyler Watuka. Rouches at second with the walk. Oh, and 2 to count. The 0-2 fouls it off there. That may go out of play. Along the hillside between the Central Methodist dugout and the left field area. 0-2 the count on Tyler Watuka, the left fielder. 0-2 pitch. Hits the ground ball to Valentine Cerna Jr. Throws over to Joseph Weatherford for out number 2, and Riley Rouch hits for third. So 2 outs now for Ryan Webster. 317 hitter, no homers, 8 RBIs from Las Vegas, Nevada. Of course, just a little over a month ago, the site of Super Bowl 58, won by the Kansas City Chiefs, 22, and a thrilling victory in the Super Bowl, 22-19 over the San Francisco 49ers. And that's a ball there. I believe next year's Super Bowl will be on February the 10th, like February 9th, I think. Down in New Orleans. 2-0 to count. Atticus Smith is on deck. Two balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. It's a little chopper. Becker has it. Throws over to Weatherford. Not in time. An infield hit. Good job by Peyton Becker keeping the ball from going the outfield. So an RBI there. That's his 9th of the year. And Waldorf leads it 1-0. There's Atticus Smith. 268 hitter. 1 homer. 14 RBIs from Kent, Washington, around the Seattle area. First pitch. Nice job by Sight. He'll underhand throws over to Weatherford for the third out. So 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. They leave 1. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It is Waldorf 1. Central Methodist coming to bat. And we're going to set the defense for you there for Waldorf. It is sponsored by the Exchange Bank. Tyler Wakuka out in left field. Out in center field, it is Ian Carr. In right field, Atticus Smith. Out at third base, Austin Hillbo. Out at shortstop, Juan Jord. Out at second base, there is Riley Rouch, their first baseman. It's Peter Ordonio. Behind the plate, it is Coley Aramel. And today's starting pitcher for Waldorf is Gunnar Huffman. 1-1, 5.80 ERA, 17 walks, and 14 strikeouts there from Robinson, Texas, around the Dallas area. One of the most famous TV shows that ever took place in that area, the Dallas Show back in the 70s when they had a guy named Larry Hagman. I remember watching that show. It used to come on a Friday night at 8 o'clock on CBS. 1-0 now, of course, favor of Central Methodist. Looks like Bobby Nichols will be getting started. Then followed by Valentine Cerner Jr. and then Tanner Sears. One nothing lead for Waldorf team on an infield single by Ryan Webster. As Trey Rosenflies heads over to the first base coach's box. On the third base coach's box, it's Nate Breland. And as Bobby Nichols will be the batter. 346 hitter. 4 homers, 14 RBIs from Detroit, Michigan. Of course, his dad is Mike. His mom, Nicole, and his aunt Gail are all here. There you see the coaches. One looks like their coach wants an explanation from the home plate umpire there from Detroit, Michigan. I know the Detroit Red Wings are still alive for the Stanley Cup playoffs. It begins a little over a month away on ABC television. I like to say maybe April the 22nd or the 23rd, but we'll keep you updated on ESPN.com or the NHL.com. A strike call there. Of course, ABC Sports, your exclusive home to the Stanley Cup Finals this coming June. The 0-1 pitch. That's on the end. Just caught it there. 0-2 the count there. No balls and 2 strikes on Bobby Nichols. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off there. Just got a piece of it. You could just barely hear it from the press box. As Joe Garagiola would say, that is called protecting the plate. 0-2 the count on Bobby Nichols. The 0-2. Slices that one foul. 0-2 the count there on Bobby Nichols. Oh-2 pitch. That's a little high. 1-2 now. Valentine Cerna Jr. is on deck. 1-2 pitch. That's a bit high. 2-2 the count. Looking forward to meeting his parents. Maybe his Aunt Gail will probably be there on senior weekend around April the 26th. 2-2 pitch. And a high fly ball in the left field. That is a base hit there. A leadoff single for Bobby Nichols. And here's Valentine Cerna Jr. A .439 hitter, 1 homer, 16 RBIs from Ingleside, Illinois. More fans are starting to file in there. They throw over there to check on Bobby Nichols. Out and on deck is Tanner Sears. There goes Bobby. There's the throw. Not in time. A stolen base. Boy, he just read it like just the great Maury Wills used to do that a lot for the Dodgers. And it's 0-1 now. Boy, he has quick reflexes. Just reminds you what Maury Wills used to do that a lot back in the 60s with the Dodgers. He was the master of reading the pitchers there as well. The 0-1. On the outside corner, 0-2 now with Tanner Sears on deck. The 0-2. Oh, outside, 1-2 now. Tanner Sears on deck. 1-2 the count on Valentin Cerner Jr. One-two pitch. Little liner. That is up and against the base hit there. Nichols is being waved around. There will be no throw to the plate, and it's a tie game at 1 on Valentin Cerner single. RBI single. And for Valentin Cerner Jr., that's number 17 on the year. And here's Tanner Sears at the bat. 365 hitters, 7 homers, 36 RBI. Of course, I got to see his mom and dad. That is Kurt, Mom Shelley. Of course, his grandmother is Connie. He has a sister named Tori. And, of course, one of his classmates. There's a liner caught. Throw over to first. Not in time. Boy, hit that on a button there. And there's one out there. Good hustle there by Valentin Cerner Jr. getting back to first. Here's Carlos Negron up there. 493 hitter, 12 homers, 40 RBI. From Puerto Rico, around the area where the great Roberto Clemente, one of the greatest ones for the play for the Pittsburgh Pirates, wore number 21. They check on Valentin Cerner Jr. Maybe one day, hopefully next year, maybe we'll try to get Carlos Negron wear number 21 on his senior day and get Tanner also to wear 20. Do that in honor of the great Roberto Clemente. I'm sure Coach Breland would love that idea there. 0-1 the count. Of course, if you know me, I always have a master of ideas. 0-1 now, and it's a ball, 1-1 now. On deck is Jeremy Conforte. Valentin Cerner Jr.'s at first. He had the RBI single that brought in Bobby Nichols to tie the game at 1. They throw over there. 1-1 the count there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carlos Negron. The 1-1. That gets away to the backstop, and Valentin Cerner Jr. takes second. That will be a wild pitch there, no question about it. Two and one the count. Valentin Cerner Jr.'s at second. Beautiful day, some Dodger blue skies overlooking Estes Field. Boy, it feels like I'm doing a Saturday game of the week on NBC television. With Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola. Strike, 2-2 now with Jeremy Conforte on deck. With 1 out, Valentin Cerner Jr. That's 2-2 to count, 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now. Is that the first women's soccer game you're watching? That's the one at the new stadium in Kansas City. I heard it's really nice.
It looks very nice.
Oh, yeah. 3-2 the count there on Carlos Negron. 3-2 pitch. Little chopper to the second baseman. Throws over the first for out number 2, and Valentin Cerner Jr.'s at third. For Jeremy Conforte. 343 hitter, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Conforte is from Villa Park, Illinois. The first time I remember that town was watching on WGN News they had a meteorologist named Tom Skilling. Runner at third with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Around the Chicago area, of course, the Cubs, they open up their season taking on the Texas Rangers on baseball's opening night at 6:30 p.m. That should be a lot of fun there. Carl Ravage Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, Buster Olney. The 0-1 now. That's a ball. And I think if everything goes according to plan, I think we may have the K-Rod broadcast with Michael K. and Alex Rodriguez. 1-1 to count. At third base is Valentin Cerner Jr. The 1-1. That kind of gets away from it. Here comes Valentin Cerner Jr. He scores. That's a pass ball, no question about it. And a 2-1 lead for Central Methodist. That took a high bounce there, but far enough to bring in Cerna Jr. to make it 2-1 now. On deck is Zeb Weedy. 2-1 pitch. Hits a high fly ball in the center field. That's well hit. Center field goes back. It's up against the wall there. Here's Conforti. He'll head to second with a 2-out double. Third hit of the game for Central Methodist. Here's Zeb Weedy. .371 hitter, 2 homers, 15 RBIs from Harrisburg, South Dakota. Even though the program says Harrisburg, Missouri, but his mom, Tiffany, told me they live in Harrisburg, South Dakota. First pitch, that's a ball. 1-0 the count there. Of course, I know his mom, Tiffany, is listening into the broadcast. I want to say hi to his mom, Tiffany. 1-0 the count, 2-1 lead for Central Methodist. Conforti's at second. Inside, 2-0 the count with Joseph Weatherford on deck. Is that the... Is that the... That's pretty... Oh, that's... 2-0 the count. 2-0 pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner of 2-1 on Zeb Weedy. W-E-D-E. Conforti's at second. 3 hits for Central Methodist. 2-1 pitch. There goes the runner up the middle. The shortstop has it. Throws over the first. Not in time, and Conforti scores. What hustle there. And I have a feeling that's going to be a base hit there. An RBI for Zeb Weedy. It's 16 on the year. What's the ruling there? A hit. Okay, an infield hit there. 4 hits now for Central Methodist. Here's Joseph Weatherford, 262 hitter. 4 homers, 20 RBIs. Of course, his dad lives in Flower Mound, but they live in Batesville with his dad, Steve, and his mom, Gayla. First pitch. Ball 1 there. It is an infield hit. That was a bang-bang play at first, but the throw took the first baseman off the bag, and, of course, Conforti was running on the pitch, hustled his way on home to make it 3-1 now. 1-0 to count on Joseph Weatherford. The 1-0. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strike on deck is Dominic Van Dorn. Two and 0 to count there on Joseph Weatherford. 2-0 pitch. Way inside. 3-0 now on Joseph Weatherford. Three balls and no strikes on Joseph Weatherford. You wonder who have the green light there. 3-1 pitch. Takes it all the way. 3 balls and a strike. 3-1 to count. 3 balls and a strike. Runner at first is Zeb Weedy on the infield single. They throw over there. Back goes Zeb Weedy. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3-2 now. Three balls and two strikes on Joseph Weatherford. 3-2 pitch. There goes Weedy, and he fouls it off to the screen just to increase the tension. 3-2 to Joseph Weatherford. Estes Field shivering with his concrete foundations. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Weedy's at first, 3-2. Ball 4 now. So first and second and 2 outs for Dominic Van Dorn. A 267 hitter, homer and 3 RBIs. He is from a town of Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. And of course, one of the seniors. Looking forward to meeting his family on senior weekend. I am really looking forward to meeting his family on senior weekend. He is a big fan of the Detroit Red Wings. And I know his Red Wings are, and a lot of people in that area are keeping an eye on the Detroit Red Wings. They're keeping their playoff hopes alive for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Strike call, 0-1 now. Just to begin a little over a month away. Of course, ABC Sports, your exclusive home to the Stanley Cup. Hockey's greatest championship. 0-1 now. 1-1 to count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'm sure some of his fans and family members used to do this at a Detroit Red Wings game. Every time when the Red Wings scored a goal, they used to throw an octopus on the ice. I remember that numerous times, not only from national television, but against the St. Louis Blues. 1-2 to count. I remember the Blues and the Red Wings, they're always a classic one to watch. Along with that, and the Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks. Well, they were fun to watch on television there. One of the most memorable goals they had for the Red Wings came against St. Louis Blues. I think Game 7 of the 96 Western Conference semifinals on a slap shot by Steve Yzerman. Swings and misses, strike 3, but 3 runs on 4 hits. No errors, 1 left on. We go to the top of the second. Central Methodist 3, Waldorf 1. Okie dokie.
Bale takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Three runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Waldorf. As Austin Hibble will be the batter. .278 hitter, no homers, 3 RBIs. He is from Sharon, Wisconsin, around the Milwaukee area. First pitch from Foster's side, tries a bunt. Nice job at Foster's side, throw the first in time. Beautiful hustle there by Foster's sides. Looking like he was going to go for the bunt single, but a great throw by Foster's sides. Throws the first for out number 1. Here's Peter Ordonio. .261 hitter, 2 homers, 10 RBIs from a town of Lincoln, California. I want to say around between Los Angeles and San Francisco. 1-0 to count there on Peter Ordonio, the 1-0. There's a strike. No question about it. Just caught the outside corner. One and one to count. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. One ball, 2 strikes to 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2 quick outs now. And here's one, George. 213 hitter, no homer, 6 RBIs from the Bronx, home of the 26th-time World Series champion New York Yankees. I also want to say hi to announcer Michael Kay and Ryan Rucco as well. Did he go? No, says by Joe Brinkman. 1-0 to count. Ian Carr on deck. The 1-0. A swing and a miss. 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike on 1 yard. The most famous TV show that ever took place in the Bronx, Different Strokes. The one that had Gary Coleman there. And I remember the opening episode where they had a limousine, went out to a playground to get Gary Coleman and Todd Bridges. 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count on 1 Yorgi. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes there on 1 Yorg. 3-2 pitch. Hits a high fly ball. That's going to go out of play. 3-2 the count on 1 Yorg. Ian Carr is on deck. 3-2. Oh, that hit him. Oh, my. I'm sure he's okay. So 2 outs now for Ian Carr, a .309 hitter. No homers, 7 RBIs from Mira Loma, California, around the San Diego area. The first pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 now. 0-1 to count. They throw over there. And back goes Juan Yorge. On 1 to count. The 0-1. A swing and a miss. 0-2. On Ian Carr. 3-1 Central Methodist. 3 in the first inning. Waldorf added a run in the first. They led 1-0 early. But Foster Side's trying to keep it where it is. Started out with a Valentine Cernas single. That brought home Bobby Nichols. Then on a wild pitch, Zeb Weedy single. There's a fly ball there. Let's see if the Gron can give chase, but it's a foul ball. Just by an eyelash. So 0-2 now on Ian Carr. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch. 1-2 now. Kind of gets away, but not far enough. Or as Ben Scully would say it, that is called a showcase pitch. Trying to get the batter to swing and miss out of the strike zone. On deck is Riley Roush. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors. One left. Bottom of the second inning. Central Methodist 3 and Waldorf 1. Three runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf from Fort City, Iowa. 167 hit, homer, and 4 RBIs from Merrill, Wisconsin, around the Milwaukee area. Home of the great Bob Euchre, who I want to say hi to. Just recently celebrated his 90th birthday. And I'm sure the Milwaukee Brewers gave him a birthday cake with 90 candles. 0-1 in the count. Of course, the Brewers begin their season in just about 12 days there. And also want to say hi to their announcer, Brian Anderson. Looking forward to hearing him on TBS doing Major League Baseball games along with Ron Darling. The 0-1 pitch. 1-1 in the count there. Bobby Nichols on deck. 1-1 the count, the 1-1. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2 there. Of course, Bob Euchre is beginning his 54th season as the voice of the Brewers. And I'm sure he's heading toward 10,000 Milwaukee Brewers games. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Peyton Becker. 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss, strike 3 call, so 1 out now. Here's Bobby Nichols. He singled his first time out. That came in a great at bat where he started at 0-2, went to 3-2, and then on that 2-2 pitch, singled to left field. First pitch to him. Looping liner. There's another hit for Bobby Nichols. 5 hits for Central Methodist. 5 hits now. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr. He singled, drove in a run his first time. 17 RBIs on the year. Five hits for Central Methodist. They check on Bobby Nichols. Three 3-1 Central Methodist. They throw over there to check on Bobby Nichols. One out in the second inning. The pitch to him. That's a ball. 1-0 to count. On deck is Tanner Sears. 1-1 to count there on Valentin Cerna Jr. 1-1. There goes Bobby Nichols. Here's the throw. He is in there. Another stolen base. Boy, he runs pretty good, just like the great Ron LaFleur used to do for the Detroit Tigers back in the 1970s. And I believe the count is 2-0 there on Valentin Cerna Jr. Nichols at second. Two and 0 the count. They're going to check on Bobby Nichols. Boy, they're keeping a sharp eye on him. Just like Elmer Fudd would do, trying to chase down Bugs Bunny. Or like the Foghorn Leghorn cheaping out on the Weasel. The foul ball, 2-1 there. Two and 1 to count there on Bobby Nichols. 2-1 now. 2-1 pitch. Ropes it foul. Boy, that was close. Boy, if that stayed fair, that would have been at least a double and make it 4-1 Central Methodist. But instead, it's 2-2. 2-2 on Valentin Cerna Jr. Two pitch is a ground ball to the second baseman. Throws over to first for out number 2, and Bobby Nichols heads to third for Tanner Sears, who lined out to second. Of course, from Higginsville. Of course, I also want to say hi to some of the other people there. One of my people I went to junior high with, Shannon North. Of course, had a birthday just about 3 days ago. Wish her a happy birthday from Higginsville. And also one of his high school classmates is Gage Wetland. Of course, I know his mother is Carrie, his Aunt Courtney. They used to live in the town of Gillum, Missouri. 1-0 to count there. Runner at third. 2 balls and no strike. Two and 0 on Tanner Sears. Bobby Nichols at third. 3-1 Central Methodist. 2-0 pitch. It's a high pop up there, and that's a foul ball. 2-1 now. Two and 1 now on Tanner Sears. Nichols at third. Single, stole second. Went to third on the ground out by Valentin Cerna Jr. 2-1 to count. Wonder if he has the green light. The pitch to him. There's a swing and a miss. May have tipped it a little bit. 2-2 now. Two balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Carlos Negron. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off to the screen. 2-2. Two and 2 to count on Tanner Sears. 2-2 pitch. It's a high fly ball to left field. That's hit well. Back, away, back, and gone. A home run for Tanner Sears, his 8th of the year, RBI number 38, and a 5-1 lead for Central Methodist. So 5-1 Central Methodist. Here's Carlos Negron. He grounded out the second his first time up. A 5-1 lead for Central Methodist. That's a ball. 1-0 to count. 5-1 Central Methodist. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now. About 4 weeks ago tomorrow, of course, Central Methodist scored 22 runs against Columbia College. 1-1 to count. The 1-1. Strike. 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes there. 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. I think, did he go? Yes, sir, he did. So 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors. No one left on. We head to the 3rd. Central Methodist 5. Waldorf 1. Five runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf. Here's Riley Rouse. Drew a walk his first time up. Lefty matchup there. First pitch to him. On the inside corner, strike 1. We're playing 1 game. It's a 9-inning game. 0-1 to count. The 0-1. Fouls it off. 0-2. 0-2 now. 0-2 pitch. Way outside. 1-2. 1-2 now on Riley Rouch. 5-1 Central Methodist. 3 in the second, 3 in the first, 2 in the second. The 1-2 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 1 out now for Colby Aramel. He drew a sac bunt his first time up. Emerald sac bunt to Foster Seitz and then threw over to Joseph Weatherford at first base. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Now, of course, talking with Nate Breland. Of course, Foster Seitz. We'll also see Ray Ochoa. 0-1 in the count. The 0-1. It's a little pop-up there. I think Weatherford will call for out number 2. 2 quick outs now. And here is Tyler Watoka. Rounded out to Valentin Cerna Jr., his first time up. First pitch to him. That's a ball, 1-0 to count there. The 1-0. Ooh, chin music, or as Dwight Gooden would call it, Uncle Charlie. 2-0 to count there on Tyler Watuka. 2-0 pitch. Strike. 2-1 now. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. Chops it foul. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tyler Watuka. Two pitch. Low ground ball to Tanner Sears. Throws over to Joseph Weatherford for the third and for the first time. A 1-2-3 inning goes Waldorf. We head to the bottom of the third inning. 5-1 Central Methodist. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, no hits, and no errors for Waldorf. That brings out Jeremy Conforte. He doubled his first time up down in the right center field area. Five one Central Methodist. Quentin Norris in the catbird seat. A swing and a miss. Strike 1 there. Zeb Wheaties on deck. The 0-1. Ball 1-1 in the count. 1-1 the count. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 now. Two and one to count. 2-1 pitch. It's a base hit there for Joseph Weatherford. That's going to roll to the wall for Conforte. He is on his way to second, and it's a double for Conforte. 2 doubles already. 7 hits for Central Methodist. Now here is Zeb Weedy. He had an infield single to short when the throw pulled the first baseman off the bag. Conforte was running on the pitch, hustled on home to make it 3-1. 16 RBIs already this season for Zeb Weedy. First pitch to him. That is a ball inside. 1-0 to count. Just a beautiful day here at Central Methodist. Heading toward the 60s there. I think it's supposed to be 68 degrees according to Channel 8's own Kesley Cabellas. The 1-0. Strike. 1-1 now. Just seems like, was it like Monday or so? Like Tuesday, we were about 76 degrees there. One and one to count. Of course, this coming Tuesday is the first day of spring. The 1-1. Chopper foul right in front of Nate Brill and tries the old kick saving a beauty. Like the great Grant Fuhrer used to do that a lot with the Edmonton Oilers or Patrick Waugh with the Montreal Canadiens, who later won the Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche. I believe back in 2001, which was also, I think, Ray Bourque's final year in the NHL. One ball, two strikes. Conforti's at second with nobody out. 2-2 to count. Joseph Weatherford's on deck. Two and two to count. 2-2 pitch. It's a liner to left field. That'll be a base hit there. And they're going to hold Conforti at third, and now it's first and third now. 8 hits already for Central Methodist. Weatherford drew a walk his first time up. Central Methodist baseball ranked number 6 in the polls there. First and third. It's a high fly ball. This should be deep enough to score Conforti. Now Conforti is running home. Here's the throw. Not in time. 6-1 Central Methodist on a sac fly there. And for Joseph Weatherford, that's his 21st of the year. 6-1 lead for Central Methodist. Here's Dominic Van Dorn. He struck out his first time up. First pitch. I think he go. Did he go? Let's see what Joe Brinkman says. Nope, that's a ball. One ball, no strikes. They throw over there. Check on Zeb Weedy. One and oh to count. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now. One ball, one strike on Dominic Van Dorn. We there for one out. That came on the sac fly to center field by Joseph Weatherford. 1-1 to count. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. One and two to count. They throw over there, and back goes Zeb Weedy. One and two to count on Dominic Van Dorn. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, outside. 2-2. 2-2 the count on Dominic Van Dorn. One out in the bottom of the third. 6-1 Central Methodist. Peyton Becker on deck. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 2 outs now. Here's Peyton Becker. He struck out his first time up. First pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1. To Peyton Becker. 0-1 the count. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now. 0-2 the count. Oh and 2 the count there on Peyton Becker. 0-2 pitch. 1-2 now. One and two now on Peyton Becker. Weeze at first with 2 outs. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left. We head to the top of the 4th. Central Methodist 6. Waldorf 1 on the Hart Conference Network. Doing fine. How about you? I was busy.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Got. That's what I heard. That's what I just heard there. I think I heard that on the news just not too long ago. Yeah, I think it's, from what I'm guessing, it's like on the north side of Kansas City or. What? What's that, Tim? Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Perfect. Six runs, 8 hits, and no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and an error. Of course, some professional women's soccer going on there. Kinsey leads Portland 3-1. First game at the new stadium. First professional game for women's soccer. As Ryan Webster up there, he single, drove a run on the infield play there. And it was a good hustle there by Peyton Becker. 1-0 the count. 9 RBIs there. 2-0 the count. 6-1 Central Methodist. Waldorf got run in the first, but then Central Methodist got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Foster Sights with a count of 2-0. Chops it foul. 2-1 there. 2-1 now. Two-one pitch. 3-1 to count. 3-1 now on Ryan Webster. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. Strike. 3-2 now. I wonder. 3-2 now. 3-2 now on Ryan Webster. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. So leadoff walk. Here's Atticus Smith. He grounded out to Foster Seitz. Foster Seitz just needs to talk to the baseball. First pitch. Ooh, inside. 1-0 the count there. Maybe a little miscommunication with him and Dominic Van Dorn. 1-0 the count. One 0 pitch. Fouls it off. 1-1 to count. Oh. 1-1 now on Atticus Smith. Fouls that one off. 1-2. Oh, okay. 1-2 now on Atticus Smith. One ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. Hits the ground ball. Nice play. There goes second for 1 to first. Double play. 4-6-3. Double play. 1-2 quick outs. A pitcher's best friend. Great job there by Cerna, Becker to Weatherford. Anthony Hibble rounded out to Foster Seitz. First time up. First pitch. Chopper to Weatherford. He'll take it himself. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. We head to the bottom of the 4. 6-1 Central Methodist. I wonder if that. Hey, Tim. Hey, that new soccer stadium they have in Kansas City, is that going to be about the same area where they're going to build that stadium for Kansas City Royals? South of the Sprint Center, okay. Because, you know, that was the big thing they were talking about, is that stadium for the Royals. I just did not know because I think at one time they were talking about right around that area there. So a new pitcher on him out, Titan Klunder. 0-1 ERA at 3, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. From Rochester, Minnesota, around the Minneapolis area, home of the Minnesota Twins. Of course, they'll be at Kauffman Stadium on March the 28th for their opening day at 3 p.m. from beautiful Kauffman Stadium. If you haven't been to Kauffman Stadium, boy, it's beautiful. The best thing I love about it is the beautiful fountains they have around the right center field area. And those are the same fountains that was there when they first opened back in 1973. Just a beautiful sight there. I've been there several times. Also, the other area of Kauffman City you want to go to is the Royals Hall of Fame. Boy, they have a wonderful displays of memorabilia of the Kansas City Royals. One of my favorite ones is the 85 World Series trophy. Remember seeing that a few times. And, of course, it's all the 2015 World Series trophy. Here's Bobby Nichols, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Waldorf. The first pitch. That is a ball, 1-0 now. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0 the count. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 the count. Three balls and no strikes. 3-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 3-1 now. Valentin Cerna Jr.'s on deck. 3-1 now. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 now. So he's been on base 3 times, 2 singles, and now a walk. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr., and he's also stolen 2 bases. 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. First pitch to him. It's a ground ball. They'll go second for 1. First. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. So 2 quick outs now. Here's Tanner Sears. 1 for 2 with a homer and 2 RBIs. They came in the second inning. They've made 5-1 Central Methodist. First pitch. There's a strike. 0-1 now. 0-1 now. The 0-1. Ball 1-1 now. Oh, the 1-1. 2-1 in the count there. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. It's a foul ball. 2-2 now. Two and 2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Two and 2 the count there on Tanner Sear. Two pitch. Fouls it off there. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Way outside. 3-2 now. On deck is Carlos Negron. 3-2 now on Tanner Sears. 3-2 pitch. It's a foul ball. We're going to do that again. 3-2 now. Bottom of the fourth inning. 6-1 Central Methodist. Quentin Norris on the catbird seat. Three, two. Ball four now. So 2-out walk. Here's Carlos Legrand, 0 for 2. Grounded out in the first, struck out in the second. Came in today's game, leading the team in home runs with 12, 40 RBIs, and a 493 batting average. Sears at first. Normally play catcher, but today, I think in the last, third game in a row, he is playing some third base. It's a fly ball, hit well to center field. Center field goes back. It's gone! Lucky number 13 for Carlos Legrand, RBI number 42, and a 8-1 lead for Central Methodist. Now here's Jeremy Conforte, 2 for 2 with 2 doubles on today. First pitch. Ball 1-0 now. Oh. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Looping liner. There's a base hit there for Jeremy Conforte. 10 hits already. 3 for 3. 2 doubles and a single. 8-1. Here's Zeb Weedy, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. First pitch to him. There's a strike call. 0-1 now. Oh and 1 to count. Oh, 1 now. Looping liner. That is a fair ball. What Conforte's head for third. Now they're going to hold him up there. I thought they were going to wave him around, but 3 for 3 for Zeb Weedy. Here's Joseph Weatherford with 0 for 0 with an RBI. That came on a sac fly to center field in the third. Bless you. Bless you. Second and third. Conforte's at third. Weedy's at second. 8-1 Central Methodist. The pitch. That's a ball. Dominic Van Dorn's on deck. Eight to 1 now. The 1-0. Chops it foul. 1-1 now. 8 to 1 now on 11 hits there. Waldorf, 1 run, 1 hit. That came in the first inning on the infield single by Ryan Webster. 1-1 to count. The 1-1. It's a fly ball. I think the left fielder will call for the third out. So no, 2 runs on just 3 hits. They leave 2. We head to the 5th inning. Central Methodist 8, Waldorf 1. Eight runs, 11 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf. And here's Peter Ordonio. He struck out his first time up. Top of the 5th inning, Central Methodist 8-1. First pitch to him is a high fly ball. Weatherford, LeGrand giving chase, and it's into the Waldorf bullpen. Looks like Ray Ochoa is warming up bullpen. Of course, talked to Nate Brillon right before the pregame show that we'll see Ochoa pitch some innings there. Probably may come on around the 7th inning or so. The 0-1 now. A swing and a miss. 0-2 now. Of course, next game up for Central Methodist Baseball next Saturday for 4-game series with Mount Mercy. Doubleheader starts at 1. Second game at 3:30. It's a ground ball. Tracks it down by Sides. Throw the first, and there's a beautiful play. Oh, my. He kind of reminds you of the great Patrick Waugh used to do that for the Montreal Canadiens. Boy, he made some spectacular saves, most notably in the Stanley Cup playoffs. There's Juan Jorge. He was hit by a pitch. He was the second base runner, the third base. The last one was Ryan Webster on the walk. I wonder if he's been watching a lot of NHL games on television. Most notably watching Jordan Bennington for the St. Louis Blues. The 1-0. Chops it foul. 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. About 38 from about 38 minutes from now, we got the NHL game of the week. The Boston Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins from PPG Points Arena. 2-2 the count. Two pitch. A little bit inside. 3-2 now. Three balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch. That's a walk there. Second time Juan Yorge has been on there. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. There's Ian Carr. He struck out his first time up. First pitch to him. Strike, 0-1 now. 0-1 to count. 0-1. On the outside corner. Good job of framing it by Dominic Vandor, as Joe Garziola used to say that on television. That's Ray Ochoa. There's the catcher, Cooper Keel. 0-2. Nice stop by Van Dorn. 1-2 now. But kept a sharp eye on Juan Yorge. One and two the count. On Ian Carr. 1-2. 2-2 now. We're playing 9 today. It's just a single game. 9 conference matchup. Then, of course, games 3 and 4 will be next Sunday against Mount Mercy, 1 o'clock. Then 3-3 pregame show for the games on Saturday and Sunday will begin at 12:45. Softball begins their conference opener next Saturday, taking on Clark at 1 o'clock at the Cox Softball Complex. And then they'll play a doubleheader next Sunday against Mount Mercy. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. And I'm sure the dog is wagging his tail. Riley Rouch 0 for 1. Every time Foster sights striking, I bet you the dog is wagging his tail. That's a strike call. 0-1 to count there. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 now. Hits the ground ball to Peyton Beck. He'll tap on second for the force out. No run. No hits. No errors. 1 left on. We're halfway home. 8-1 Central Methodist. And there's Here's Dominic Van Dorn, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts there on the day. 8 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf. Ooh, way up high. 1-0 to count. Followed by Peyton Becker and Bobby Nichols. Nice hustle there by one of the players from Waldorf. The 1-0 pitch. Way outside. Or as Bob Euchre would say, just a bit outside. He tried the corners and missed. Two balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Ooh, out. That popped off the glove. A 3-0 to Dominic Van Dorn. 3-0 to count. 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4. So it looks like we may have a courtesy runner. That looks like Trey Vorwald. He is from Manteno, Illinois. There's Peyton Becker, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Runner at first, the pitch to him. It's a fly ball to center field. Center fielder has to turn around, makes the catch there. Verwald will go back to first for out number 1. There's Bobby Nichols, 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a walk. Verwald's at first. There goes Verwald. The throw not in time. A stolen base for him. I think that's the 3rd stolen base of the day by Central Methodist. And it's 1-0. Oh, actually, it's 0-1. I'm sorry. 0-1 now on Bobby Nichols. Verwald, a courtesy runner for Dominic Van Dorn. The 0-1. Ball 1-1 now. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning, even though it's 0, but it's 1 out because Peyton Becker flew out to center field. Now a little conference action there. 8-1 Central Methodist. Waldorf's got 1 in the first, but Central Methodist got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. One and 1 to count on Bobby Nichols. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. This past Wednesday, softball split it over with Cotty. Lost the first game 8-5. They won 10-2 there. 18-3 on the year. Began their conference play against Clark. According to Coach Pat Reardon, I'll tell you about it after the pitch. And Nichols lines a shot into right center field. Verwald's coming around. Nichols is thinking 2. He is thinking 3. He is in there with a triple. 9-1 Central Methodist. Been on base 4 times. 2 singles, a walk, a triple. There's Valentin Cerna Jr., 1 for 3. Looks like a call to bullpen. It is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Looks like number 7. So Skylar Yarbrough, new pitcher, 0-1 with a 9.20 ERA, 8 walks, 16 strikeouts from the Colony, Texas, around the Houston area. So now runner at third is Nichols on the triple. And for Bobby Nichols, Nichols has 15 RBIs on the year. 9-1 now in the first pitch to him. Fly ball hit well. That may drop. It does drop in. He did trap it. Cerner Jr. is thinking two. He is out. So Nichols score. It's a single RBI. And then he was throwing out trying to stretch it to a double to make it 10-1 now. There's Tanner Sears, 1 for 2 with a homer and 2 RBIs. So Valentin Cerner Jr. has now 18 RBIs on the year. 10-1 now. And he's hit by a pitch. So 10-1 now. Carlos Negron, 1 for 3 with a homer and 2 RBIs. 13 homers, 42 RBIs. First pitch to him. Strike, 0-1. 13 hits for Central Methodist. 10 runs. The 0-1. Strike, 0-2. On deck is Jeremy Conforte. Oh and 2 the count on Carlos Negron. Sears at first with 2 outs. 0-2. Fouls it to the screen, and it's 0-2. 0-2 the count on Carlos Negron. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But Central Methodist gets 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, they leave 1. We're through 5. Central Methodist 10, Waldorf 1. Eight, 11, 13.
Bales takes the shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Ten runs, 13 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf. Here's Kobe Emerald, 0 for 1. And a sack bunt in the first, and then he popped out to Joseph Weatherford. His time up. Looping liner. Oh, what a catch by Peyton Becker. How about that? As Mellon would say on This Week in Baseball. There's Tyler Watoka, 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. To Valentine Jr. in the first, and Tanner Sears in the third. Strike, 0-1 now. 10-1 Central Methodist. Ochoa's warming up there. He may come on in the 7th inning there for Foster Sides. What an amazing job he did. Really, ever since that second inning on, he's really kept it in control. 2-1 the count. Only allowed 1 hit. That only hit came in the first inning on the infield single by Ryan Webster. That scored Rylan Rouch with the first run. And he was hit by a pitch there. They've had base runners, but either been walks or hit by pitch. So Nate Breland wants to go out there. Now wants an explanation from Larry McCoy. Here's Ryan Webster, 1 for 1, single in the first, drove in a run, drew a walk in the fourth. He has the only hit so far. Watuka is out in first. He was hit by a pitch. Fouls it to the screen. 0-1 there. Today's attendance, 42,412. Millions are watching on television across the world. 0-1 in the count. 0-1 now. Nice stop by Dominic Van Dorn. 1-1 now. 1-1 on Ryan Webster. Took his on first when he was hit by a pitch. 2-1 to count. Two and one now. 2-1. Hits the ground ball, knocks it down. Nice tag there by Valentine Turner Jr., and they get the double play. How about that? Mel Allen would say that's a... So it's 1-4-3. As Kathy Lee Crosby would say it, that's incredible. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the sixth inning. Central Methodist 10 and Waldorf 1. That's incredible. You remember Lady Kathy Lee Crosby? Or as Kathy Lee Crosby. Or as the great Kathy Lee Crosby. Kathy Lee Crosby. Or as Kathy Lee Crosby. Or as Kathy Lee Crosby. Okay. Ten runs, 13 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf. Here's Jeremy Conforti, 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a single. 15 more minutes. The NHL game between the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins will be getting started on ABC television. Strike 0-1 in the count in the bottom of the sixth inning. 10 runs, 13 hits, and no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf. The 0-1. That's a ball, 1-1. Zeb Wheaties on deck. Like Conforti, he has 3 hits already. 1-1 pitch. Bounces off the glove, out 2-1. And now they're going to... I thought, man, both Waldorf and Joseph Weatherford were going to go after the ball there. 2-1 pitch. That's outside, 3-1. Three and 1 to count on Jeremy Conforti. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 now. Here's Zeb Weedy. 2 3 for 3. 2 singles. A double. RBI. Conforti's at first. Fouls it off. Strike one. 0-1 the count to Zeb Weedy. Oh, 1 pitch. Outside, 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Zeb Weedy. One pitch. Fouls it to the screen. 1-2 on Zeb Weedy from Harrisburg, South Dakota. Even though it said Harrisburg, Missouri, but his mom, Tiffany, told me a few weeks ago they live in Harrisburg, South Dakota. One and two the count. One-two pitch. That's 2-2 to count there. Joseph Weatherford is on deck. Of course, I got to say hi to his dad, Steve. He just came by a few minutes ago. Two and two the count on Zeb Weedy. 2-2 pitch. 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls and 2 strikes on Zeb Weedy. Three, 2. Hits a fly ball into right field. Right fielder gives a chase, but it's a foul ball. Just a few feet past Pesky's pole. 3-2 now. Three and two the count on Zeb Weedy. Conforti's at first. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 now. So back-to-back walks. Here is now Joseph Weatherford. 0 for 1. Sack fly. It looks like a courtesy runner. That looks like it is Nick Tampa, the courtesy runner. Nick Tampa from Algonquin, Illinois, around the Chicago area. Conforti's at second. Weedy's at first. 10-1 Central Methodist. Bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to him. Ooh, inside of Weatherford. Switcher moves over to the right side of the plate there. Looks like Dominic Van Dorn is on deck. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-0. Oh, gets away from it. That will be a pass ball. Conforti to third. Weedy to second. 2-0 to count. That will be a pass ball. You can mark that on your scorecard there. Two and 0 to count to Joseph Weatherford. Infield out of normal depth. If Weatherford can put it to the right side, not only you score Conforti, but move Weedy to third. 2-0 pitch. Lines a shot. That is over the right fielder's head. Conforti will score. Tampa, the throw. They got Weatherford. So it's a single. RBI, then he was thrown out trying to stretch it to a double to make it 11-1. And Tampa's at third there with one out. Weatherford has 22 RBIs on the year. Here's Van Dorn 0 for 2 with a walk. So Tampa is at third, 11-1 Central Methodist. That's a strike call, 0-1 in the count. $11-1 in favor of Central Methodist. Tampa is at third, the courtesy runner for Zeb Weedy. Way up high, 1-1. Peyton Becker's on deck. Sporting those gold gloves. Those gold batting gloves. I wonder if he has an extra one of these. Maybe I can have that for my 50th birthday next year. The 1-1. Way out high. Here comes Tampa to make it 12-1 on a pass ball. $12-1 Central Methodist. 2-1 on Dominic Van Dorn with one out as Weatherford was thrown out trying to stretch it from a single to a double. Two-one pitch, 3-1 the count. Peyton Becker on deck. Ochoa looks like he's loosening up, getting ready to pitch in the seventh. I do believe, according to what Nate Braylon told me during the pregame show, right before the pregame show. Ball 4 now. It looks like maybe Trey Verwall will be the courtesy runner there. Here's Becker, 0 for 3 on the day. Bottom of the sixth inning, 12-1. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. 1 ball, no strikes on Peyton Becker. The 1-0. It's the ground ball. They'll go second for one. The first, that's a double play. 6-4-3 double play. So 2 runs on just 1 hit. No errors. No one left on. We head to the 7th inning. Central Methodist 12. Waldorf 1. $11, $13, $14. Yep. So a new pitcher on the mound. That's Ray Ochoa. 3-0, 3.22 ERA, 12 walks, 28 strikeouts. from Elsinore, Missouri, around the southeast part of Missouri, around Poplar Bluff. Of course, his mom is Misty. And I want to say hi to her mom, who is Mom Misty, by listening in on the broadcast. Looking forward to seeing her next week. As Nick Tampa takes over in left field there, when he was the courtesy runner for Zeb Weedy. So 12 runs, 14 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, a hit, and no errors for Waldorf. 6 solid innings, gave up 1 run. Did a tremendous job there, really from that second inning on there. And now here's Atticus Smith, 0 for 2. Grounded out to Seitz in the first, and into a 4-6-3 double play. Cerna Jr. Becker to Weatherford. 1-0 pitch. 2-0 to count, and if everything goes according to plan, it's 12-1. And I know there's a 10-run rule after 7. So it's the 7th inning. If everything holds up, we may be done early because of the 10-run rule. 3-0 to count. There's a strike, 3-1 now. And we'll also talk it over with Nate Breland, talk about today's 3-game with Waldorf, and then preview the 4-game series with Mount Mercy next Saturday. Resume conference play. Of course, Central Methodist in the conference, 7-1. They swept a 4-gamer with Graceland on March the 3rd, 2nd and 3rd. And then they took 3 out of 4 last weekend from William Penn. 3-2 the count, 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4 there, too. To Atticus Smith. Here's Austin Hibble. Anthony Hibble, that is. 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to Foster Seitz in the second. Then the unassisted groundout to Joseph Weatherford in the 4th inning. First pitch to him. There's a strike, 0-1 now. Top of the 7th inning, 12-1 Central Methodist. The 0-1. Ball 1-1 now. On Anthony Hibble. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 to count. 2 balls and a strike. Two 1 pitch. Strike. 2-2. 2-2 now on Anthony Hibble. H-I-B-L. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 1 down now. Here's Peter Ordonio. 0 for 2. Struck out in the second. Grounded out to Foster Seitz in the 5th. One down now. That is a ball. 1-0 to count. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 more outs there. Win number 21 for Central Methodist. They're ranked number 6 in the polls. Fouls it to the screen. 1-1. Estes Field shivering with its concrete foundations. 1-1 the count. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1 now. Looks like the NHL is getting ready to get started between the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins on ABC television. 2-1 pitch. Hits a little chopper. Becker, his only play is the first. They throw it to Weatherford for out number 2. And Atticus Smith takes second. So 2 down and maybe 1 more to go for win number 21. Here's Juan George. 0 for 0. Hit by a pitch. Drew a walk. So new pitcher, a new hitter, Ryan Miller is the pinch hitter. 353 hitter, 2 homers, 11 RBIs from Reno, Nevada. Around just south of Las Vegas. First pitch to him. Ooh, outside, 1-0 now. One ball, no strikes. Annika Smith is at second with 2 outs. Strike, 1-1 now. Looks like Ian Carr's on deck. One and one to count. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. Just a strike away from win number 21. Because of the 10, even though we're playing 9, but there is the 10-run rule in effect. 2-2 to count. It's like if it's 10 after 7. 2-2 to count. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So no runs, no hits, no errors. And they leave 1. And that's the ball game, folks. The final score, Central Methodist 12 and Waldorf 1. We'll give you the final line numbers. 12 runs, 14 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for Waldorf. Central Methodist, the victory there, they are 21-4. Waldorf goes to 10-10 on the year. A 3-game sweep there. Next game up for Central Methodist, it'll be next Saturday. They'll be taking on Mount Mercy. Games 1 and 2 of the doubleheader next Saturday. First game at 1, second game at 3:30. Then game 2, games 3 and 4 will be next Sunday. First game is at 1 o'clock. Second game at 3:30. Pre-game show at 12:45 p.m. There. A few moments, we're going to talk with Nate Breland about today's doubleheader victory. Quentin Norris saying so long, and that's 7,340 of them. Enjoy your rest of your Saturday afternoon.